Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Studio 44, where we have, yes, another stadium extravaganza video. I have stadiums created by myself and stadiums submitted by you to showcase you today. Now, I was able to find a way to create some anomalies in my stadiums. I'll break down how I pulled that off. I wanted to show another stadium from a user I showed either in my last video or the video before that. He had some anomalies he wanted to show me, but when I looked for his user ID, the stadiums didn't pop up. Nothing did. So I tried popping in the name of the stadium of his that I showcased in the past, and it popped up, but as you can see here, his user ID did not pop up. So I don't know if I messed up his name or what. So Adrian, if you have a stadium or two you want me to showcase, please leave it in the comments below. The name of the stadium and your user ID, and we'll get to it post-haste. But until then, here are the stadiums that I created recently and uploaded recently. And once again, a couple more submitted by you. Let's get into it. So here it is, the Dam, Beavers Park. They don't let you put a colon in there, but it's located in Portland, Oregon. I decided I would build it for the Portland Beavers. I don't know why. It's just the first Ricky Davis team that popped in my head. Built in 2022, altitude of 50 feet. And yes, I have anomalies. I have stadium creator anomalies. What I found out I could do was download Dairy Park or Dairy Stadium, the video I showed you last time, right here in Studio 44, and just delete everything but the anomalies. And you can move it around wherever you want. You can even scroll through to the other ones. And you can even, once you've selected it, clone it. But we'll bring it back to the Minnesota. Slide it back right where it was. And we'll go from there. So this was the prop that I wanted to use the most. I wanted to find a way to sneak this in here. And I kind of found out, I couldn't get as creative with it as I wanted to, especially since you can't go up and down with it. All you can do is move it around. But still, I threw some people in here, and I had it blend in to a deck that comes over here with this little garden area. I don't even know what you call these planters, these giant planters, I guess. And then it comes off the second level over here, over to this deck that goes all the way behind the batter's eye and over to this building over here into right field. And I put this bleacher set up here on top. I'm not 100% happy with the way the stadium turned out, but it's pretty cool. I think it reminds me a lot of the ballpark at the Moonshot Casino. I didn't make it as unique as I wanted it to, but maybe that's because I didn't give myself enough of a theme. But anyway, yeah, that's what I did over in left field. You got the two levels of this like fan club area. I meant to label these somehow, but I didn't get to that yet. I kind of like having the two levels of concourse over here, and then you got even the third one up here. Upper deck, of course. One of my favorite scoreboards, if not my favorite, the Cleveland Guardians, I'm sorry. And then coming off this top deck, you have another grass area on top of the luxury seating, and that will take you into right center field. This is where I started, and I'm not 100% sold on this, but I just went with it. You have the luxury seats over here. In between that, yes, the anomaly. I always liked the idea of having the stadium jolt in like this. The problem with the anomalies, I don't know if you've played any with these, the ball just pretends they're not there. So it doesn't turn into a home run if you hit it just inside this batter's eye drop. Batter's eye backdrop. But I think it certainly looks cool. I liked adding the stand up to cancer to the backdrop, having this little deck behind it. So I still think it looks good. Unfortunately, like I said, the ball just kind of disappears when you hit it in here, and then your players run right through it. You can see I have a little tiny home run fence in there. So unless it goes over that little home run fence, it's not going to be a home run. So those are my two anomalies, and then I just built the stadium around it. I went with the building with the kind of wooden pillars. I've never been crazy about the way this looks, but I don't know. I feel like I've gone through every building in the book trying to build the ballpark at the Moonshot Casino. So I just went with this one through this concession stands in the middle of it. And I like how this bleacher area turned out and the hill. And I tried using the new batter's eye with the waterfall in it. I figured, Beaver Dam. Why not put a waterfall in it? And then I kind of have these offset. They're not the same level, so I think that looks kind of cool. It is a little annoying having the home run fence go so close to a wall, because then it hits the wall and it doesn't look as good when it goes over, I guess. But it's pretty standard behind home plate and behind the third and first base lines. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm pretty happy with it for the amount of time I spent on it. We'll take a look at it at night. It's pretty deep out in right center field, as you can see. I thought about bringing that in a little bit because with the altitude being so low, man, it's tough to put one out there. Normally, I try to label my distances. How far is that? Through 426. Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's Detroit Tigers, San Francisco. And that's the dam. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll move on to the next stadium. Here is Philadelphia Baker Bowl 1937 version in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, altitude of 95 feet, built in 1887. Now, I don't often showcase a lot of retro stadiums because I just don't know what to say about them. I mean, this is great work of replicating it. I remember using the stadium in a couple different baseball games, I think. The viewer who submitted this video said All-Star Baseball, and I looked it up. It wasn't there, but I want to say it was in a version of Hardball. Anybody old enough to have played the Hardball for Sega Genesis? Or even I think there was a version of Hardball on the PlayStation 1. But my brother and I used that game quite a bit for the Ricky Davis League until MLB The Show came out. And I definitely remember using Baker Bowl because it had the big wall, and it was really close, if I'm not mistaken. And wasn't there like a hill or something in center field or up against the wall? I don't remember. But yeah, like I said, I just don't know what to say about these because, I mean, they're pre-existing stadiums. But, I mean, again, I can go off on how amazing the recreation was, especially the city in the background. Very, very heavily detailed. Using older buildings, of course, because the stadium was, this is how it looked in 1937. The old school roof, 2 decks, whereas a lot of the newer ones had, 3. But this looks cool out here with the seats and then going into bleachers above it. Yeah, it's just great. I like how we used this building to kind of close it off or to create the roof, however it looked. I'll find a picture and post it with this one, so you can see how good a job he did. But yeah, I remember liking the big wall, so I used that. Oh, this is the back of a scoreboard. Yep, okay. Looks like the back of a couple scoreboards. But yeah, he did a great job recreating it, so I wanted to show it off for him. Thank you, Arch, for posting. I'll definitely be showcasing more of yours soon. You have one in particular that I definitely want to showcase because it's where I saw my first Major League Baseball game. So I'll post that one in the next video, I think. But thank you for the submission. It looks great. Let's take a look at it at night. Smart idea using the no stripes pattern to make it look more old school. Looks really good in the dark. The parts of the city are lit up too. Smart. Oh, lights across the stadium. That's cool. Now, is that a you thing or is that from the actual stadium itself? Either way, I always thought it was cool. I'm pretty sure the warehouse in Camden Yards has lights on it that they use to light up the ballpark at Camden Yards. But yeah, it looks great, Arch. Thank you so much for the submission, and be on the lookout. I got more stadiums of yours in the chamber. Let's move on to the next one. Before I go too far into new stadiums, I did want to hop back on and mention this stadium. In my last video, I recognized that I put a graphic for, I believe, the Rocco Stadium with this stadium, and they're obviously not the same. So I wanted to correct that real quick and show off Valero Park again real quick. It's built in the future, built by Who Can It Be Meow. Now, for all I know, he just copied this and, slapped a new name on it or whatever. But I always try to go back as far as possible to find the stadium, and that way I have the original creator, or at least what I think is the original creator. But I apologize for the slip up. This is Who Can It Be Meow, Valero Park. If you would like a more in-depth look at this stadium, check out my previous video, and you can see the comments that I made about it. Heading on down to Florida, where we have Orlando Dream Park. 89 feet is the altitude, built in the future of 2025. So we only got to wait 2 more years to see the stadium. But man, this is another one I found in the vault. Ron Solo created another stadium, a Tokyo stadium, that I featured in the previous video. So I found other stadiums that he created, and I love this one. Great job with center field, with the concourse, with the fountains and the statues. It looks great. Perfect batter's eye background. Using the scoreboard to kind of create that wall, and it blends into the seating over here. Pretty symmetrical. Whenever you're able to pull that off, I give you mad props, because it's tough to make it look so good on each side, so similar. But man, I just love this park, so I wanted to showcase it. I love this laser ribbon across the whole top. Beautiful. Oh, look at that, he's got the escalators holding up the ribbon. That's cool. That's very creative. Has parking garages outside, 3 levels. But man, great work. Great concourse out here, or plaza, whatever you want to call this. A lot of stadiums are doing this now. I know Atlanta, right? Don't they have like all this big shopping area out in the outfield or whatever? Like these little baseball towns. Beautiful work. Got the luxury seats over here in left center field. More empty tables and chairs on the concourse over here and over here. Come on, SDS, help us out. Great work. Let's take a look with the lights on. We'll back it up. Man, that laser ribbon is perfect. Very unique idea. The plaza's lit up pretty well. Cool buildings out there too. Great work. Ron Solo! Yeah, check his page out. He's got a lot of cool stadiums. I'm sure we'll find more from him. We're heading over to my neck of the woods, Cooperstown, New York. It's about a 3-hour drive from my house. It's where, of course, the Baseball Hall of Fame is, Doubleday Field. Altitude of 1,227 feet, built in 2022. I really like this stadium. This, of course, was submitted by Sandman Dan. He gave us one to look at in one of my last videos that I posted very recently. And wow, look at this. He's got the little Hall of Fame section out here, using the Cleveland Guardians little Hall of Fame center circle thing. Got the statues all around it, circling it. I love it, with Jackie Robinson in the middle. This building right here is perfect for like the Hall of Fame entrance. It looks great. You attach this airplane hangar in front of it. Awesome. I always like this building. This round building is a great backdrop building. Very different, you don't see a lot of round buildings. But he's got a little village, because Cooperstown, if you've ever been there, it is not big. It is tiny. I'm lucky to have been there, quite a few times. Most recently in 2016. But man, it's a great little town. If you're a baseball fan, totally worth it. Great concourse in center field. Oh, he's got the new light right here. Let's take a look at the lights while we are talking about them. What's happening? There we go. Took a minute, but we got it. Higher wall out there in right field. I like using the bushes to kind of line that concourse or that deck. I like this right here, where they kind of offset each other. The three decks kind of in the middle of each other. That's super cool. Yeah, I love the stadium. Sandman Dan's got some great work. I still have one more of his that I will be showing shortly, so stay tuned for that. Pretty standard behind home plate and down the lines. And yeah, what else can I say? This is a great use of this prop. A lot of people seem to like this stacked stone wall. That was, I believe, in that first update back in August of the last game, 2022. Or, yeah, 2022. I like this little scoreboard here under this concourse, and again, using that stacked stone. Looks great. With these steps back here. Steps are always tedious. I can never get my steps to look great. But yeah, I like the 2 levels of the concourse. I'm pretty sure you can hit the ball up here. Team store blended into the round building. I love it. What's this under here? Oh, it's a little concession stand. Okay, fountain bar. Awesome. Great work, Sandman Dan. Again, he went with an old school kind of grass pattern to kind of give it an old school look for Cooperstown. Awesome. All right, I have one more stadium to show you. A stadium created by yours truly. I don't want to spend too much time on the stadium because I have showcased it before, but this is the 2023 version of the stadium. We are staying in the Empire State for Bomb Squad Stadium. It's in Brooklyn, altitude of 220 feet. I built it 2 years ago, so we kept that 2021 date on there. I changed quite a bit of the stadium. I have the custom bleacher section over here, but I think it looks a little bit better. I love having the laser ribbon. I love having the laser ribbon as an option. Hats off to San Diego Studio for that. I think this was available right at the beginning of the game, right? This year's version of the game. I always have a thing for being able to hit the ball out of the stadium and across the street. It's pretty hard here because the altitude isn't that great, so it's tough to get one out of the stadium, but it can be done. I haven't hit the building across the street yet, but I think these 2 big signs look great here, and blending in these luxury seats, kind of Wrigley Field-esque, but with a little bit more class. I added the Bucky Crozier Bat Knight. He's one of the better hitters on the Brooklyn Bomb Squad. I've had him on my team before. He's a solid left-handed hitter. I have it up here on the bridge too. Now I know this has got to be a safety issue, right? How many people are driving by, watching the ball game, and then crash the car right on the field or into these lights or whatever? But I just thought it was a cool idea because I love this structure. I don't know what it is, but there's something about this structure that I love. I thought it belonged in the background of a stadium, a little bit closer, though. So I changed up in here. I think this looks better than having the concession stand lined up against the wall like I have in the past. I like that idea, blending that in there. I changed this bleacher section up a little bit, added the warehouse. You guys know how I like to be kind of parallel to my batter's eyes. I think that turned out pretty cool. I hate this dead space. For whatever reason, you cannot bring anything close enough. I mean, I'm not near the batter's eye, and I'm not interfering with this wall. And the closest you can get, I mean, even if you turn it, the closest you can get is like right there. So I'm not a big fan of that dead space. I hope that's something that they work on in future versions of the game. But I loved blending the seats into this structure along with the luxury seats. I put windows in here. I'm not crazy about this idea. Again, partly because I can't put the windows next to each other without them running out. But I have bleachers underneath as well. And I blended the bridges together and added a second structure or a second loop or a tunnel. Maybe I should have closed this off like I did on the other side, but you can't really see it that well in the middle of the game anyway. But I think it looks pretty cool having the other luxury seats up here blended in behind the batter's drop. I spent a little bit more time on the city. I did mean to light up this bridge a little bit more. Harrison Sawyer was kind enough to showcase the stadium for me, at least a previous version of this stadium, and he gave me the idea to light up the bridge, and I took that advice in the previous version, but I didn't do it this time. So I'll probably go back and do that a little bit, light up the city. But I think the city turned out pretty good. I think the key to a good city is just lining them up as if they're on a street. And then you go back here, and I don't want to spend the time to put the road, I don't want to spend the memory on it either to actually put the road in here, but I think if you pretend there's a street in there, the city's turned out a little bit better. Just in my opinion, anyway. But, yeah, this is Bomb Squad Stadium. I added this higher wall with the bushes here. I've seen a lot of people use this idea for a stadium, so I borrowed that idea. I think it looks great on this stadium. Kind of probably prevents these guys from seeing a lot of the action, but again, they're fake, so who cares? But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I went a little more unique or a little more untraditional with behind home plate and first and third base lines for whatever reason. I don't know why, but again, I think it turned out okay. It looks pretty good. I have a shorter deck over here. I believe the last deck went way up here, and I had this big scoreboard right here. But I think this looks nice, too. I have that round building, but you can barely see it. So that's Bomb Squad Stadium. I hope you guys enjoy. Oh, this is another thing that's been happening. Have you guys noticed props disappear on you? There's supposed to be I blended this statue in with this fountain, but it disappears on me all the time. That guy's supposed to be there in center field, but it'll just disappear when I come in sometimes. So you guys got to let me know if that's happening. Between that, the windows, not being able to find or not being able to look up stadiums by user ID in the vault, the props not snapping together properly, I just feel like Stadium Creator took a lot of steps backwards. There's some great new props. The lights look fantastic. The laser ribbons are great. But I just feel like there's a lot of stuff that, there's a lot more bugs, a lot more problems. The lights. The lights are a huge issue. Does anyone else notice this? There's like, why can't I put lights here? It's not anywhere near the backdrop. I don't know. Maybe the light should be there. That would really make the stadium look bright. But it gets in the way of hitting the ball out of the stadium. But yeah, it's just there's weird places where lights don't work when they should. So I don't know. That's Bomb Squad Stadium. Okay. Let's get through all this stuff. If you have a stadium you want showcased, please leave your user ID and the name of the stadium, just in case the vault wants to act up. That way I can look up your stadium and have it showcased right here in Studio 44. I realize I've been asking you guys to listen to Respect the Pick, my podcast with my brother and my nephew. But I'm just asking you to watch it with me just saying, hey, it's good. So I figured today, why don't I give you a clip? So here's a clip or two of Respect the Pick, our podcast. I hope you enjoy it. Give us a listen and see what you think. Thank you. Yeah. I was just thinking the other day watching Star Wars, Han and Luke are escorting Chewbacca to the detention center to pretend he's a prisoner.
I can't see in this thing.
Right. Yeah, that whole scene. They're like walking on this level that would be in a mall, like a shopping mall. Right. Yep. Do you think that's where the Sbarro's is? There's got to be a Sbarro's on the Death Star, right?
I feel like there's lots of things on the Death Star, right? Like
Sbarro's.
Yeah, it's the size of the moon.
An Asian restaurant where you can get like 2 meats and rice or
right.
lo mein.
I see like the Emperor's like, Lord Vader, go to Orange Julius and bring me a strawberry smoothie.
Right? I mean, if they have it there, they have to have it on Star's Killer Base. Isn't that Kylo Ren's first job?
Probably, yeah.
Do you want your pie cut in triangles or squares?
And there's some Minarchs that flew in when the door was open and they're stuck in there forever.
Yep. Right. Minarchs. Delivering a home run always makes me think of this story.
Oh, my God. It's so funny.
In softball, you can only hit, Jaden, you've never heard this. In softball, you can only hit 3 home runs. Then once you do, you're out. The team can only hit 3.
A team
Otherwise,
can only
it's
hit
just
3.
home run city.
Home run derby.
And Adam never hit a home run. I mean, I'm not talking shit about that because neither have I.
Little league, high school, middle school.
I mean, I hit
never.
him in Little League, but okay. Then this day, we hit 3 home runs. don't this motherfucker hit another home run, but it's our fourth, so it doesn't count. So he finally hits a home run.
Dude was like 40 years old, 38, 39.
Finally hits a home run. No, he's out. He's not a home run. He's out. Batter's out. Batter's out. Home run. Batter's out. Went over the fence.
Terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
It doesn't count. It doesn't
Poor
count, man.
son
It
of a
doesn't
bitch.
count.
I really want to go back and like solve like historical crimes.
Like Jack the Ripper.
Oh, be able to go back and say who killed who and stuff like
Right.
that? Like find out who killed the Black Dahlia?
Yeah.
Okay,
I,
that could get on board with that
also,
one.
Like I could bring my time machine, like follow Amelia Earhart. Like
Yeah. Some of those big mysteries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
see
would
what
wanna
happened
solve
to her.
Right? Find out where she went.
Who
How
was-
would you follow her around though?
With a TARDIS.
yeah, with the TARDIS.
Oh, yeah, okay,
I just trail her pretty far back,
She'd be like, what
and
is
then
this?
and then when she looks back and she's like, "Is that a police box following me?" I'd yell, "No, it's all good. Don't worry about it."
As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please throw me a like and make sure you hit that subscribe button because there's plenty more coming soon.